Hello.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of Euro Schmoe. As you can see, we are a person down today. Unfortunately, Teresa is recovering from an operation, so we wish her a speedy recovery. We're going to miss you today. We love your opinions, but hopefully she'll be back next week to contribute to the show. And then I will hold on to gloating for my prediction wins this week so she can see it as well next week. Yeah, I got all 3 right. And we will get on to that today. I had to get it in straight away, guys. I'm so happy with myself this week. But it was a really fun week of Schmoedown. We had 3 matches, which we'll get into later. And also, we have a lot to talk about for next week as well, because there's a lot of matches next week and all really, really fun ones to predict.
Yeah.
A lot of 50-50s next week. Teresa is with us in the chat. Hello, Teresa. I have to take my moment. I don't know if I'm going to win all 3.
Another one. Let's hope not so.
Matt has threatened to I might have to have a forfeit if I am to lose, which I have agreed. So we'll get onto that when we get to predictions. But
yeah.
First things first this week, we wanted to take a minute as the Euro Schmoe group just to say a massive thank you to the writers of the Schmoedown questions. Unfortunately, there's been quite a lot of hi Thomas. There's been a lot
Thomas.
of how to put it, negative criticisms towards the writing team, and we just wanted to say we think what the job you do is absolutely amazing, and I couldn't do it. It's the amount of work, especially PJ Campbell and his team, put into the writing of the questions is unbelievable. And I know, Ben, you wanted to speak on this a little bit as well.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, I know that we're not going to give any platform to people that are giving hate to anyone. But I just wanted to say, the writers have done a really good job. The questions have been excellent. The balance of points to questions have been excellent. It's been a brilliant work so far, and I just I love that I love the work that they do, and I just want to say thank you very much. I couldn't do your job. I just say thank you. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you very much.
Very well said, Ben. And I think we'll just leave it at that. We just, like I said, we wanted to give a quick shout out to the writing team, and just know that we know the work you do and we really appreciate it. So let's get on to the matches for the week. And we'll start off with the IG match, which was Saul of the Den against John Humphrey of the Quirky Mags. Now, in our prediction league, we all went for Saul, and I think it played out as we expected. I don't think I don't know if I'm expecting a knockout, but it's fair to say Saul looked dangerous. John Humphrey, I think, is the type of player where he has to get a category which he is excellent in to stay in the game. I think if he gets Harry Potter or something he's really strong in, he can stay in a game. He's not going to win if he gets something he does not specialize in. Although I will say I thought the Spider-Man questions were difficult.
Hard.
They were hard. And I guess that's going to happen when you have a category with only 5 or 6 films in it. Yeah. So I guess that was a really good indication of the type of questions we'll be getting if you go for a category which is that specific, such as maybe Transformers, Spider-Man. I would say Planet of the Apes, but we did get a bit of taste of that this week, but it was in singles play and not in IG. I wonder
Yes.
how more difficult the questions would be if it's in IG.
It's interesting. I'll just go to your point. It's interesting that in inner geekdom the specialized categories are harder, and in singles the specialist not broad categories are sought after. I like that. I didn't think about it until you said it, that if you have a specialty category in inner geekdom now, it's probably a harder questions, and if you have a broader category, maybe it's be a little easier question because it's broad. So yeah, that's something very interesting.
And what were your overall thoughts on the match?
Well, yeah, I will start. Good job, Saul. You did redeem yourself from last season, that's for sure. But after watching that match, my opinions wasn't about the match really. I was just thinking to myself, oh, so everyone's watching just had really big exclamation point over their head and telling to themselves, oh, then this year is very, very, very dangerous faction. Yeah, Kate was awesome.
She's going
But
for Shannon's crown.
yeah, I'm just saying, then this year, if it's Saul your B, if it's Saul your B inner geekdom player and he's playing like that, and I'm not sure if Best Ben is now a player in Den when it comes to inner geekdom anymore. But either of them, if either of them is your B player in inner geekdom, you are in pretty good place. Also, you have Harper and you have Preston and you have Ben, who is also good in singles, so he's multiple division player. So then this year looks pretty scary. To be honest, anyone who watched that match, because I think that everyone going in thought to themselves, "Oh, so then Saul will be their B in their geekdom player, Ben will be the A player. Maybe Saul could get them couple of points." I'll be honest, after watching that match, Marisol is good and all, but I don't think that the Queen right now did win that trade anymore.
I think
But
it's too early for that.
yeah, but I think because I think that Alonso will do pretty well if he got some okay matchups. Because let's be honest, his losses were to only excellent top tier players. So I'm really hoping to see Alonso play someone. Yeah, but Saul, well, Saul is the biggest surprise of the season so far for me. So yeah, his questions wasn't easy as well. Let's be honest. I will say that I think Spider-Man questions were harder, in my opinion, just in my opinion. But okay, someone who is a big Spider-Man fan. Yeah.
It's an interesting point there, Thomas. I was going to just say, Matt, I'm not going to deny, I think Saul played excellently. I'm not getting carried away yet, though. We didn't see, and this isn't his own fault, but we didn't see him have to play the third round. So I want to see him go against, a Brandon Hanna, Alex Damon, someone who's a good quality IG player, not quite championship level, someone along them lines.
Yeah.
And then if he's still performing like that, then fair enough. I'm just not getting carried away. I think we need to see him play someone who takes him to the third round.
Oh, I understand.
But he played really well, and obviously it's not his fault that he knocked someone out. So if he didn't get to the third round, then he's played an amazing game. And as Thomas just rightfully said, he was frustrated with his own game.
I will really talk about the third round in one of these matches. So I will, when it comes to you will see what I'm thinking about the third round, especially in the Schmoedown. When the time comes.
I think I
like
know
to,
what you're referring
Ben.
to. I'd just like to say one small detail. I don't know if you guys noticed. Christian didn't even realize that Saul had it right and that it was a KO. When he got that answer right,
Yeah.
there was a delay. Mark Ellis waited.
Oh,
Saul said, "Did you hear me?" And then it was like, "Oh, you're waiting for me." So even Christian was surprised by that, I think. So
I think he tried to play it off as dramatic effect, but he just didn't realize, and it was quite funny. So, yeah, that was quite amusing to watch. But I think we need to just briefly touch on John as well. I love watching John play. He's a really fun character. We've mentioned, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but I had said I'm worried about the quirky Max. I'm now more worried about the quirky Max.
Yes.
I mean, Jesse Swift seems like your A player.
Yes.
Jesse Swift had a good debut, and I do not want to say anything bad about Jesse, but obviously he's new, and I thought he played really well in his first match. But I can't. He's not someone who's going to be winning the IG title anytime soon. If Greg and John are your B players, you're lacking in IG, aren't you?
Yes.
Let's be real. And obviously this year you get a -1 for a knockout. So unfortunately they are on now -1, which Koi is loving.
I just think that this year Quirky Mercs could be last year's Rockstars. In that time they were called Rockstars, so stars now. The faction who was in the bottom before the tournaments, and then when the singles and teams tournament comes, they were skyrocketed because they had a really good showing. I think that Mercs could do that this year. I think that this is their in that time there will probably be the best chance for them to get some points. Also, don't forget Di Malanta is still here. So if he actually wins that Star Wars championship, that's what 8.7 points for them.
7 points.
So 6 points.
That's a big if, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
if.
big if. It's a big if. I just want to say, Quirky Mercs are still in this. I know that people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, people already are saying, okay, they are lost. They will be lost this year. The season didn't start really. Yeah, it started, but it is the beginning. It's the third week.
Corruption last year. I mean, they started rock bottom and then ended up winning the whole thing. I'm not saying that. I'm not ruling out Quirky Mercs. My point is that I worry for them in the IG league specifically. I think singles teams and Star Wars, I think they're fine, but in IG, I'd be looking to trade later on in the season if I'm Koi. There's no strong IG player yet.
But for who? That's the problem. Who are you gonna trade for the good IG player? Who is willing to give you IG?
Maybe Chandru. Who knows? We'll get to storylines later.
Yeah.
No.
I can't imagine Chandru and Koi actually. That's probably not the best pairing.
No.
But I think this first match, it pretty much went the way we expected. I don't think everyone was expecting a KO. I wouldn't have been shocked with a TKO, but I wasn't expecting a KO. So yeah, I think that wraps up our first match of the week. The second match.
The funny thing is, I said on our private chat, I wonder who's going to have the first TKO, and then the day later, Saul gets a KO.
Yeah. And yeah, you did, and it happened quicker than we thought it would. But we almost had another one in the second match of the week, and then it completely went the other way. I like that idea, Thomas.
Yeah. I think that's the Koi's most brilliant plan in this situation, to really look for some good inner Geekdom player and get them into the Mercs mid-season.
Yeah, and we'll see how the first class league goes, which starts end of the month, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the second match of the week. And as I said, we had our first KO on Wednesday in our Thursday match. I thought there was going to be another one, and we were talking about Brother Lomis against Frankie Alvarez. Me and Ben went for Frankie, and Matt and Teresa went for Brother Lomis. And for a very, very long time in that match, I thought we were going to lose. And then at the very end, he hits the 5. And then Brother doesn't hit any of his 3-round questions. And me and Ben take the win in our prediction league. But obviously, there are a couple of key talking points in this match. One is, I am legend. Oh, no, I am robot. Sorry. I am robot. Which we need to talk about.
Yeah.
And our other key one I want to mention is the character work of Brother Lomis.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I'm scared.
Gucci's confession.
I am scared of that man. He freaked me out, but it was really entertaining. I loved the scene before the match with Gucci, him confessing all of his sins. But he didn't have it, Teresa, and we won.
Yeah, Teresa, if we did win that, we would be tied, everyone. But no.
3-0, yeah, and as Thomas rightly points out, 3-0 for the usual suspects.
Thomas, don't you worry. I will for sure say that because, as everyone knows, Sam is my favorite competitor ever. So if anyone asks, everyone knows who I'm rooting for.
And as he's right, we're yet to see Liz, we're yet to see Drew, we're yet to see Ethan, and there's already 3-0. So he's definitely corrected the mistakes he made last year with the lack of IG and Star Wars. Although this was a singles match. Yeah, what do you think, guys? How did you find the match?
Ben, do you want to start first this one?
I'll start this one because this one was almost spoiled for me. Just
Sorry.
That's fine. I got a message at lunchtime. With clappy hands and saying I didn't think we'd win, and I thought when I watched that match, I was thinking, was he being sarcastic? Was he saying that as a resignation? Like, I didn't think we'd win, but well done to Lomis. And then that third round happened, and oh my word, I was so shocked. I couldn't believe it. We'll get into the I Am Legend thing. I think that's on Gucci, man. That's seriously on Gucci. When I heard that, I was, because at first I didn't hear or understand the question, and then Alvarez asked for a JTE, and then I realized, hang on a second, I know what this is, and I muttered under my breath, I robot. And then when he said, I am a robot, I thought, okay, that's weird. And then Christian said correct, and I went, what? And then I thought, okay, they're gonna challenge. They're definitely gonna challenge, and nothing came forth. And I was so shocked about that. That's on Gucci. Let's be honest. Yeah, he should have challenged.
Well, and Lomis though. I think this is where
I wouldn't put it on Lomis. It was his first. Sorry, I
please
interrupted you. I just wouldn't put it on Lomis. It was his first match. He's a rookie. That's why you have a manager.
What I was going to say was this is where the difference in managers come in, with people who know trivia and people who don't. Obviously, Gucci is not a trivia expert, but he's a good manager. I can guarantee you, Sam was sitting there with his mouth shut. I bet he knew it was wrong, and he just didn't say anything. You know, Sam knew that was wrong. Sam is Lena Headey before, but on Lena Headley, he would have been on it like a hawk if it was the other way around. And I can just imagine him sitting there like.
For sure.
I was almost wondering if he was going to pull a Achety and challenge his own question.
I think not this. Not now. There's money at stake.
No, I think that Sam would kill someone if they did it.
But
No,
I didn't pick it up the first time. I only picked it up when Ben told me on Messenger, and I was like, "Oh, of course, that was a huge mistake." So it shows the importance of good trivia knowledge. I didn't even notice it the first time round, and I can understand why it went.
so Thomas just said that Gucci didn't hear Alvarez answer because of technical.
That may be true, but I can also imagine Finn Stock just saying that was the case. Who knows with him?
No. Okay, can I do it now?
Sure.
Yeah, I will be honest. I'm more impressed with brother Lomis than with Frankie. To be honest, I know some players like Bibiani had that problem with the third round. He never got the answers corrected first in the third round. He was always doing pretty well in first and second round. But just to put the things into perspective, brother Lomis in his first round did as well as Dan Merle, the kid, and I think no one else had 7 out of 8 this season yet. I think that Marisol had 6. I think that Chance had 7 also, right? Or 6. I cannot remember.
No, I think Chance had 6, and
Chance had 6. So brother Lomis actually was the only player, except for the kid and the Dan, who did get 7 out of 8 at his first round. And the thing that I think people forget is I just looked it up. So he was Exchange's 5th pick, first, second, third, fourth. 5th pick. And if your 5th pick is playing like that, then, sir, you are in pretty good place. I will just say that because if your 5th player can run through the category and get, in my opinion, that is more indicative of his knowledge in the first round. Chance had 6, and in your first round, you can have 7 right answers of 8. You pretty much know your stuff, I think. So I think that Finstock Exchange will be much better than people think. I don't think they will win the faction race, but I don't think that they will be in the bottom like many people did say after the draft. They had an awful draft. They didn't do anything. After seeing that, if your fifth pick plays like this, and he didn't have. That's my opinion on the third round. Now it's the time to talk about the third round. And Christian said that third round is a luck factor, especially the 5-pointer. 5-pointer, either you know it or you don't. Frankie had that luck. He knew his 5-pointer immediately because it's something he knew it's close to his heart, and we heard many players say that 5-pointers, you cannot prepare for 5-pointers. You either know them or not. It's just what you get. I think that Ben Bateman said that in at least 10 backstages.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Thomas, and that's what I was saying earlier. If you have a manager who knows trivia, it can be really helpful when it comes to those challenges. When it's something like I Am Robot, like that is the wrong answer. It's not even a case of the rule where it's doubt. That's not correct. I think if you look at the points, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I think he would have won by 1 if it all went ahead as it did. And that was wrong. But you just don't know. It might have changed the mindset, you know.
Psychologically, maybe he wouldn't. Exactly. But he did know his 5-pointer, and he probably would know that he would know that it's something he knew. You can see that it's something that is close to his heart. That question. Yeah, and I'm so happy. I'll just say this firstly. I was actually Frankie didn't play bad. Frankie played pretty okay, I must say. If I'm watching the whole match, and I'm pretty happy that people in the group did see that Sam Levine was the manager of the week again. Just saying this 2 weeks in a row. Sam Levine, manager of the week. Again, he was a manager of the week because his player did uh,
Come
fall
back.
behind, and like Liam said, he fall behind pretty hard, and actually managed to win. So yeah, I'm so happy for Usual Suspects because last year was full of heartbreak for me. When I saw the Usual Suspects draft list, at first glance I was okay. They could win this. This is not a bad team. Then Drew fell off, and I was like, "Oh no, what is going to happen now?" And yeah, and this year, yeah, and this year is just happiness right now for the Usual Suspect fans like me. I'm so happy. I would be so happy if I don't get that point for faction race we did it at first. If Usual Suspect wins, I would be so happy. I don't need that point if Usual Suspects win.
It was a crazy end to that match. It was so close to being a
Yeah.
-1 for Usual Suspects, and then to go from that to winning 2 points, that's crazy. And it reminded me of Warfather against Claudia Dolph last season. It was a very similar end where he hit the 5 and then she missed the 2, 3, and 5, and then he won.
Yeah.
Very similar to that. Ben, did you have anything to add before we move on to the final match of the week?
This one, there was something about Brother Lomis that I just don't like. Maybe it's because he's acting as a preacher, and as a Christian, it rubs me the wrong way. Maybe, I don't know. There's something there that just I don't like. But I'll give him time for sure. I'm not going to say, hey, I don't like him off the bat. I'm just going to give him time. Maybe he'll grow on me as time goes on.
Yeah, I will say, even though Alvarez won that match, if they were to go into a match tomorrow, a rematch, I'd put my money on Brother Lomis, even though he lost. And
I would too.
It's a weird situation that, because obviously he lost the match. Yeah, I think he's the better trivia player. Interesting match, and for me, we'll now move on to what was my favourite match of the week. I don't know about you two. I think it was the best match of the week.
Yes.
And I was the only one to get it right.
It's Cobra Kid.
So in our predictions, everyone went for the kid apart from me, and I proved you all wrong, and I'm so happy. So I went for Chance, and obviously Chance pulled it through for me. I thought for a minute you had it. He was down at round 1, but then I think the game turned in round 2, and picking Planet of the Apes was a really good move. Really, really smart. I will, obviously we'll get into it a bit more in depth in a minute.
I wouldn't be surprised if he put that on the wheel.
It's an IG slice as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, I was shocked Brendon took Oscars when he won Spinner's Choice. I mean, I know he's really good in it, but such a broad category. I was surprised that he went with that. I just think the narrower categories, Teresa, tend to be easier. I'm not a huge Planet of the Apes fan. I got 3 out of 4 of his questions. I knew 3 out of 4. The Oscars, the only one I knew was the one they didn't get about Sylvester Stallone. I got that one personally, but it was a really good match. Chance came through for me, and he finally managed to hit his 5-pointer, which has slipped him up so many times. And I'm so happy, but I'm going to let you guys talk because I just want to gloat for a moment.
Ben, can I start this one?
Please go ahead.
Okay. When I was finishing watching that match, I just thought to myself, why did I went with my head and not my heart? But okay. Uh, yeah, that was also a match. I was watching it. I was rooting for Chance because I think that Chance, and I will say this probably many times through the season, um, from all the players who never won singles titles, I think that Drew McQueenie and Chance Elison are the players who deserved it the most. And if someone told me, okay, Chance will win championship this year, but Melissa and Liz won't, you choose if that happens. I would probably choose Chance because I think that Chance did pay his dues in this league for many years in singles, and he deserves it. Uh, I think that the ladies can deserve it too, but Chance put so much work in this league for many years, and I'm so happy for him. Uh, I when he had to answer his five, I wasn't sure he will hit it. I didn't. I wasn't sure if he knew it or just or he just guessed the educated guess. Uh, yeah.
I can't help it. I'm so
I
happy.
just I will just say this on that, Teresa. I would pay someone if you can be here and watch Liam live as he glowed because your kid lost the match. Just to see your face, it would be priceless. But okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if Chance will get this. When I watched the match, uh, I wanted him to get it. I also think that Kid deserves the single shot too. He also paid his dues many times, and yeah, but I think that Chance is that player. I think that I will say it now. Maybe I will eat my words, but I think that Chance is the first player who can be a three-belted player in the Schmoedown.
I said that last week.
Yeah, you did.
To
Okay.
agree with you.
Yeah, I really think that that will happen first. Maybe Dan Murr can do it in Inner Geekdom. I didn't see him play yet in Inner Geekdom, so I cannot say anything. But yeah, with this win against the Kid, you are starting to climb that mountain, my friend. It's just a little bit because if you win that, well, then I don't know anyone except Dan Merle who can say that deserves higher spot than you. Because if you have belts in three divisions, I don't think that not Rocca, not Rachel, not anyone can say then I have more accomplishments in the Schmoedown than Chance. So Chance, my friend, you are starting the climb. I hope you climb to the top this season. I was very happy. I must say, both players, in my view, got the spinner's choice, so to say. Chance did get in Geekdom slice. I don't think that you can call any player can call himself inner Geekdom player if you get Geekdom slice in singles and don't do well in it. I just think as an inner Geekdom player, the levels of question, because they did say that singles inner Geekdom categories will be much easier than inner Geekdom. You should get at least I don't know 7 or 6 points without any steals from that category, in my opinion, if you're an inner Geekdom player. So yeah, I was very happy because categories did turn out to be very equal. It wasn't that some player got his weakness and some other player got his strength. So because of that, it was just pure trivia, pure knowledge, and Chance won. Chance proved, I think, many people wrong. And Chance, my man, I'm so happy for you. That's it.
Ben?
I will say this. It's about the only Schmoedown that I've seen live this year. Because obviously it's on too late for me most of the time, but it was a hell of a match to stay awake for, and Teresa and I were busy commenting on it, and she said when she saw that question that kid got wrong, I forget what it was. I forget, but she said he's in his own head now, and he was. Unfortunately, he got in his own head. Sometimes he can get out, sometimes not. Yeah. I seriously hope that he can recover from this and do well soon. Because he, like he said himself, he loses the first match and then wins the next one. So yeah.
I'm not worried about him. I think he's come against a player who is an exceptional player who's just been unlucky in the past. Yes, he was, and I think if
He
we go
was.
to the game, Brendon was 1 point up after round one, which is a big advantage with those type of players, and it was obviously the swing in round two. And again, I was surprised he went with Oscars. I was, because I think it's just such a broad category. I'm not sure I agree with you, Teresa.
Yeah, everyone agrees with this.
I don't see him winning the title. Sorry. I think he'll get a lot of points. I can't see him making a run to the title. I do think this might be Chance's year. I think he's been on the brink for a couple of years now, and he's been let down by the 5-pointers. I have two hot takes from this match. Number one, I think no matter if you're IG player or not, going for IG slices in singles and teams is a good move if you know a little bit about it, because I think the level of questions are a much easier level than some of the questions you're going to get in normal slices. Like I said, I'm not a huge Planet of the Apes fan, and I did really well in that category. And
I did too, and I didn't think I would know anything. So
exactly, and I know that's just personal opinion, but even with the Lord of the Rings questions, which I don't like Lord of the Rings, I've seen it. I did pretty well.
Oh my God, why am I friend?
I did on Marisol's questions. I think they're worth taking if you know a little bit about it, or enough. If you watch the films, you're probably going to get at least 6. And my second take, not just from this match, but in a few, I think the 5-pointers this year have been a lot fairer, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I know PJ Campbell was on backstage and he spoke about the 5-pointers, and he said they've tried to make it as fair as possible, and I really have seen that. I think every 5-pointer I've seen has been a fair question, where even if you don't know it offhand, there's enough context clues where you can take an educated guess. And I think we saw that in Marisol. I don't know if she knew that answer, but she could.
I don't think so. She
She
did guess, yeah.
And again, even Antonio Banderas, he probably knew it because it's Chance, but it's a good one to guess if you didn't know it. You know, who's an older actor, something like that.
I like it because you need to know about the movie, and if you know about the movie, you can guess it. It's not that something you can guess just because I have context. I don't know anything about the movie, and then goodbye, Teresa.
See you. Rest up. We want to see you next week. Well.
Yeah,
and I can quote to you a bit more.
Yeah, so I think actually it's pretty okay, because I wouldn't be happy if you could get a 5-pointer if you didn't watch the movie. I wouldn't be happy. I don't think that you can have a 5-pointer and you can answer it just by reading IMDb or something. You need to know the movie. You write the question in a way that you have a context that you can guess the actor if you did watch the movie. And I think they did this year that fantastically. So on your point before, I really don't see why anyone is bashing the writers this year. I didn't find anything wrong with any question, I think.
Yeah.
And on your point before, Liam and Ben, I think that Kid did get in his own head, because I think in the first round he got the right year, and then he probably erased it and write something else. And I think that was a big problem for him, because I think that he thought that if he did get that, he would probably have 3 points over Chance.
Perfect round.
Yeah, because I think that he thinks that he can get a bonus question right, and it's 3 points swing in that point. And yeah, maybe that cost him the match, but I am more inclined to agree with Liam that he maybe should choose some specific category, not the Oscars, who are very broad. And in my opinion, Oscars can have some really, really, really hard questions, like number of nominations or something like that, or years even. And that's I like Oscars too, but people forget the one year is the movie came out, the other is Oscars, and it's easier to mix it up in your head. I wouldn't personally ever go with the Oscars if I got this binary choice, because I think it's too broad. But
Yes.
yeah,
And if you look at like the Planet of the Apes, that was specific. So
yeah,
but I will say I feel Oscars is logically easy to study for, because at the end of the day you just study who won what each year. The problem is when you get questions like the one he got, which neither got, regarding an actor who won got nominated for the same role. You can't. That's not something you're going to see on a study sheet, and
yeah,
that's the
no
kind
way.
of question which can trip you up, and did. That was a very hard question. I happen to know it just because I remember it, but that was a tricky question.
Yeah.
And it's not something you're going to have on a sheet to study. And that was to
He
be honest,
should
that
have.
was the sweet. So, did you want to say something, Ben?
He should have JTE'd a lot more. Let's be honest. With the year question, I think if he had JTE'd, maybe he would have then had a chance to think, okay, maybe am I right? Am I wrong? Let's actually think about this and not stress. With that nomination question again, should have JTE'd, and with I think it was his 2 pointers that he got wrong. He knew it and he should have JTE'd again, but he didn't.
Yeah.
In my
I guess
opinion,
it's like
I think he
first
should have
game
used
back,
that.
just forgetting some of those rules. But it was a really good, really fun week of matches. We had they were all very different matches. Also, we had a knockout, we had a brink of defeat come back, and then we had my boy Chance. So I was pleased. See, Thomas raises a good point. My sort of counter.
We think that Brendon could do better. That's the problem.
I think when you're Brendon and Chance are capable of 8 out of 8 in that round, and 6 out of 8, although a really good score, could be and was the difference. So I think when you have a broad category like that, it's harder to get all 4. I mean, he almost did it, but then you get that one question where it's something you can't really plan for. But, it is what it is. Another day he gets 8 out of 8. It was just in that particular match.
Excuse me, I just want to talk about something not planned a little bit. I was very pleasantly surprised, when the matches was announced for the April, and we saw that the team's championship is gonna be defended. So my question for you is: are you surprised that teams league will begin so soon?
Yeah,
I did not know. I have not seen that.
The odd couple will defend their belt. Christian said that in the group.
I am very pleased to hear they are bringing back teams. I know Christian is not happy with it online, but I don't want teams to stop just because of the format.
And I think that they saw that the live stuff will not. I'm now sure that lifestyle stuff will not begin so soon. Maybe this whole season again will be. I think that maybe this whole season again will be online, because I don't think if Christian had any indication that he can start live, I think that he would wait with teams. And I think that many managers now have. Are a little bit of scared, because I think that many managers planned for the thing that it won't be many teams matches this year, but I think now it will be.
I'd
So I'm
love to.
happy, and I'm happy for suspects also, because they have so. I when I saw Frankie, I just thought to myself, they have so many teams options now.
Love to see a 16-team tournament this year, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would be so happy. I think that teams deserve 16 teams.
I don't think
tournament.
it will, because I know I do understand it must be such a headache to try and
Schedule so many people.
I do understand that, and
Yeah.
I'm respectful to Christian and his team. I know why. I can understand why he wants to try and delay teams, but as you said, probably not going to be back in studio anytime soon.
No.
The fans want to see teams, and the fact they're able to do it is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we had a few storylines this week. Now, I know, Matt, you love the storylines.
Yeah, I love the storylines.
So do you want to kick us off on this one?
Okay, but if I'm going to kick off, I will start with my favorite again. And my favorite is the swag. The swag storyline is my favorite storyline. I must say, I like the gray stuff also, but yep, I'm so pleased that Ace didn't come to the dark side, so to speak. He stayed in the light, and it makes sense. So one Star Wars player is now on Chandra's side, and one Star Wars player is on Swag's side. I'm only scared. I hope that won't be the case, and I don't think Christians would ever ask Winston to do that. I just hope if Winston is able to stay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. And I just want to say, I just hope that if Winston is able to stay as a manager next year, they don't tell him, okay, don't I don't know, if Chandru again is a champion, let's say champion in the end of the year, don't keep Chandru because of the storyline reasons or something like that. I just hope that storyline doesn't affect the making of faction next year. I don't think it will. I don't think Christian will ever ask someone of that, but that was little worry in my head. But I think that it's brilliant. As I said, I, as someone who really likes storylines, and in my head always try to make some storylines of in the Schmoedown. I'm very pleased with Christian and all of his storylines. I put my head down to him on it. I think that he's writing most of the storylines. I think that, and the storylines is awesome. And in what I said, I think last week, to bring back that, I really think that in the teams, in the swag, in the final exam, one player will be with Winston, and one player will be with Chandru. I think that that will happen, and I think that the bad person will be Long Harris, because he can pull it off and not affect his game. And I think that Oyama is someone who is more. I like him more as a face than a heel, to be honest.
I agree.
I like him more as a face, and I hope he will stay a face. But yeah, that storyline, as I said, gives them a lot of options, and I was very pleased with the inclusion of one in my opinion right now, one player in in one league is for Winston and one player is against Winston. So I really like that. So
I do wonder what it's leading to. Is it going to be some form of civil war within Swag? That'd be quite interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. I'll say my favorite scene of the week. I enjoyed that one, but it was actually the Mike and Shannon reaction to Grace becoming chairman. I have to say, seeming as we're in the middle of a pandemic, the production value on that scene was unbelievable. How they filmed that well blew me away. And I think I saw Teresa comment on that as well on the Facebook group. I'm blown away by it. We had that one and the Andrew Guy Ben Bayman one. It looks so professional. It's really, really well done and well made. And I have it props to everyone involved. And also Shannon is a really good actress. really, really, really good. I mean,
Wow.
I don't want to get in her bad books. I mean, I'm all for corruption. They're my team, so I can't ever change now because I'm too scared what Shannon will do to me if I.
I'm sorry, I had to restart my camera.
No worries, man.
Something went wrong.
I love that scene. As I said, I think Shannon, she's gonna be an Oscar winner one day. I'm telling you. Beautiful acting. And
Yeah.
I wonder how Grace will start affecting the league. Will we see anything happen in the next few months? It would be an interesting thing to see what happens.
Production model was awesome, yes.
Yeah, so that was my favorite of the week. What about you, Ben?
My favorite was the Chandru one, just because I loved Ace telling him, yeah, it's disrespectful from you, which I love. I also I have to give props to Gucci and Brother Lomis, the confessional.
That was the funniest one.
Yeah, that was a funny one. Okay, I think that Ben just freezed on us.
We've lost Ben for a little bit. So we'll just.
I'm just gonna touch on your point. So yeah, I just think that production value is better. First, you have Skybound. Oh, you're back. So you have a Skybound now, and I think that most of their contribution will be in the production, and I think that when matches go live, we will see that.
It's so exciting.
Skybound involved, yes. And also, I think that they are making less money. Let's be honest, Schmoedown is, but I think that they are also not spending so much, because I think that there is a you need more people if you're live in studio to set up everything and stuff like that, and you have your own lighting and all stuff like that, and mics and that. And also I want to say I was also surprised with Shannon. I know that Mike is an actor, I know that Shannon is a nurse, and I didn't expect that level of acting from Shannon. I did expect good acting from Mike, but I didn't expect it from Shannon, and I was very pleasantly surprised with that. Ben, you can say something now.
Have we lost Ben again?
Are we lost? No, he's here. Ben, Can you hear us?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Ben?
My internet's being buggy tonight. Internet's being so buggy tonight. Sorry, guys. I might need to reset my router. I hope it doesn't bug the screen.
Shall we just move on to predictions?
Ben, are you going to reset now your router or what? So people
change it to a different thing.
Okay. Now you are good. Just so you know. We apologize for the technical difficulties for all the people who are watching this live. I hope that doesn't affect your viewing experience. And if we know our community, you know that these things happens. It happens in the Schmoedown also. So please have
you
a
can hear
understanding for us.
something. Sorry.
Ben,
No,
needs to be
it's
back.
awesome. Now it's good. Now it's good. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, the
Let's just
editing.
acknowledge Thomas. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me say, but I loved the Brother Lomis Gucci confessionals. I still think I disagree with Gucci on one thing. Shannon does look good in that crown, and you cannot tell me she doesn't.
I'm with you on that, Ben. My queen. So I'm conscious that Ben's internet's a little bit wavy tonight. So I think we just move on to our predictions. And
Yeah.
we'll do it rather quickly so we don't lose Ben.
Wait.
We have 5 matches this week. So we have
Yeah,
a lot to
Take
get
time because
through.
I also need to check. I also need to say what
Teresa.
thingies. Yeah. Teresa's
Yeah, so
pick.
just give me a second. I forgot to write my.
That's okay. I will slowly go through them. And Ben has, I believe you have Teresa's this week, don't you?
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay, great. So
I will sing
Teresa,
them out loud once we all show.
Teresa will be with us next week, so I can gloat again about me beating her.
Oh wait! Before we do, this is for you, Liam.
Yeah. I'm just enjoying it now because I don't know how long it's going to last. Okay, so let me get up the schedule. So our first match of the week is Brendon Hannah of the Stars against Eric Sipper of Swag in a Geekdom League. I'm going to write now who I am going for.
I already know who I'm going for, and all of these I'm going with my gut.
I mean, I usually just wait until the moment before, and it's worked for me, so I'm going to stick with my system. All right, are we ready?
Yep. Inner Geekdom first, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Can you see it?
Hannah.
Yep.
Hannah.
Zipper.
And Teresa with Hannah.
Okay, so Ben being controversial again. Being the lone wolf.
I think this is a pattern that we're going to see throughout the year.
Well, it might pay off at some point.
I hope so.
Not quite yet. But why did you go Zipper?
Because of something that Matt said last week, which is the Inner Geekdom has become a lot more diverse now. I think that he'll do well with that. I'm not a fan of Brendon Hannah, and I like Eric Clip. I hope he does well. So
you go with your heart.
Yes.
So personally, I went Brendon. It was, if this match occurred last season, it would have been an easier pick for me of Brendon. I've still gone Brendon, but it's a lot closer than it would have been if it was last season. And because of what you said, Ben, I think the addition of the new categories benefits Zipper more than it benefits Hannah. Zipper is a multi-division player, and he probably had some knowledge of the categories which have been added, probably more so than Brendon. But I don't know that. I'm just guessing. I think Brendon's another player who's been on the brink of getting these title shots. He's not quite made it yet. I have a lot of faith in Roxy, and I think on the Stars with her manager being her manager, I can see him making that leap now. So I have gone Brendon. I wouldn't be shocked if Zipper wins, but I think there's just a bit too much swaying to me towards Brendon. What about you, Matt?
Well, this was the hardest pick for me. This was the only one I didn't know beforehand. And yeah, I didn't pick Hannah, to be honest. I picked Roxy. That was my reasoning. If Hannah is on some other faction with a manager who doesn't know how to talk with his players or something like that, and I think that talking to her players and getting them mentally where they need to be is the thing that Roxy probably does the best of all managers. That part, the mental talking in the middle of the match, getting them. Yeah, I think that Roxy is the best at that.
He's always
And
missed that.
yeah, and I think that Hannah is someone like Snyder, like Andrejko, who needed that push. I also think that the yeah. Okay.
We'll see if we're similar.
Okay. I will say this. So also, if there, I think that also like you, Liam, I think that Zipper's knowledge is more suited for inner Kingdom as I see it now, because he's a very good singles player. But man, he got Hannah, and I think that Hannah also has that chip on his shoulder, and I think that Roxy is very good with players who has chip on their shoulders. She knows how to use them and not let the chip use the players. And so I will just say I picked Roxy. If she ever watches this show, just that she knows that there is someone in her corner as her manager style. I really like it. I'm picking Roxy in this one. I was thinking about actually writing Roxy on the piece of the paper, but unfortunately, I couldn't do that to any player. Hannah is a good player, and he deserves the respect. So I wrote Hannah, and I know that Hannah knows a lot. But I think that the person who is going to get him a win, that thing that will put the skills into his favor, is Roxy, and that's why I picked Brendon Hannah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Roxy is what gives me the edge over Zipper. Okay, second match of the week. We've got a lot to get through because we have 5 this week. Lacey Gillibrand of the Den against Gold Leader of the Finstock Exchange in the Star Wars division.
Okay.
I haven't prepared this one.
I am.
I am.
Okay.
And this is because of a fancy draft that I did, and also because I have other reasons, but I'll tell them when it happens.
Okay, we ready?
3, 2, 1. I just wrote gold because it was.
I've gone
easier.
Lacey.
And Teresa went Lacey, so.
So I'm the lone wolf now.
This is the first time I think you've been a lone wolf, Matt.
Yep.
Why did you go Gold Leader?
I'm so happy you asked. So I didn't know who I'm gonna pick until I saw Brother Lomis match. So I will just say this: Brother Lomis was 5th pick in Finstock Exchange, and Gold Leader was 2nd pick in Finstock Exchange. And yeah, because I don't know anything about any player, and because I saw the Gold Leader, I know that Lacey has some podcast about Star Wars, and she also do after shows. But I saw Gold Leader hyping him up really, really, really hard in the group, and I saw that he's a fan. And I don't think that any fan of the Schmoedown, knowing the community, would hype himself so much and not knowing his stuff. I wouldn't do that. I would do that only if there was any time, if there is a fan Harry Potter exhibition match, I would do that, and then nothing else. And yeah, and he also put on the group some trivia contest online. He did, and he was the first. And I don't know. I just don't think that when I saw Brother Lomis, I really think that they did their homework, and the rookies in Fix Exchange probably knows their stuff, and that's the only reason. It was a toss-up for me. I was thinking of choosing the player I was going to pick with Mini Mini Mo before the Lomis match because I didn't know anything about anyone, so I wouldn't feel right to picking anyone, and I just went with that gold leader because he did put a lot of hype on himself, and I don't think he would do it if he doesn't know anything. And for both competitors, I think that's true. I think that both of them, when they heard their names called, I think that they both started really working hard because I am a fan, and I'm going. Uh, how would I be if any manager picked me for the Schmoedown and I like Schmoedown? I would really, yeah. I know she's in the same faction as Thomas Harper. I was thinking that, but I would really put a lot of work in Schmoedown if I was ever given a chance. I'm not ready. I'm not saying I would throw my hat in it. I just saying as someone who loves Schmoedown, I think that they will both work hard. And I don't know. I went with my gut, to be honest, and that's it. And yeah, the fact that Finstock Exchange did actually draft him in a second round, and in a second round they did have a lot more options. I think that they had Ace still on the table at that point. For example,
I went Lacey for two reasons. Firstly, I know that a lot of managers wanted to pick her up, and I saw her reaction video to being drafted, and that shows me she is invested in the Schmoedown. She knows how the game works. I know Gold Leader does too, but the main reason I went for Lacey is because last week I picked Frankie Alvarez because I liked the name, and I really like the name Lacey. So that's why I went with.
Excuse me, just to say one thing. I will be rooting for Lacey because I like Dan more than Finstock Exchange.
That's the main reason, to be honest, and it worked for me last time. sticking with my method. And Ben,
I went with Lacey because she does a Star Wars podcast. She knows her stuff, and she's been touted by Marley Damon on her show on a certain point of view. I've heard Marley Damon say that Lacey knows her stuff. So yeah. Also, she's on Best Ben's faction, which is probably my second favorite faction after Quickie Mercs. So that puts her up. And also, yeah, I traded for her in my fantasy draft league, so she has to do well for me.
okay, so moving on. The next match of the week, the YouTube aired match, is on Friday, and it's a singles match between Janine the Machine of the Stars, formerly was a usual suspect, now a star, against Jada Paramo, who was moved to the Den.
This one's so difficult.
This is reasonably tough, although I'm pretty confident.
I'm confident in my pick. Yeah,
I'm confident in my pick. I'm confident in my pick, but it's difficult for me because I love both the competitors and I want both to win.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Janine.
No, I'm Jada.
Jada. And what did Teresa go, Ben?
Janine.
Oh, Matt's the new Ben.
Yep.
Except I
Matt, you
think
by
Matt could
yourself
do what I
again.
couldn't.
So I have to start again, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's simple for me, really. No disrespect to Janine, but when I see the matches they both played last year, I think that Jader showed more. And also, I think that Jader is one of the players who, in his absence, showed most improvement. If I'm looking at the Jader in the beginning of the season and the Jader in the singles tournament and the teams tournament, I think, no disrespect to Janine, I think that she knows a lot too. But I think that right now not right now. As I saw the last season, if you asked me, he showed more knowledge. I know that they are both invested in the Schmoedown. I'm sure they both studied a lot, but I think that Jader knows more. It wasn't hard for me. It was hard because I like Janine as a person, as a competitor, but as a pick, let's say, if I'm going to bet on the Schmoedown, I would pick Jader because I actually think he knows more, and that's all to it. So, and I think that he's the players who is improving on a player who is improving on a fast scales on a fast scale. He's very quickly becoming better, and yeah, and I hoped that Janine will be that last year, and the player I was hoping that Janine would be last year actually was Jader, so I picked Jader this year.
I see. Ben, do you want to go first this time?
I'll go. This one was hard for me because I really wanted Jada to have a win, but I think Janine will have a win. I think Janine just maybe it's because of my heart, but I honestly I think she's a real competitor and a machine, shall I say? And she will surprise, I think. And yeah, I chose her. Liam.
So Janine has always been someone who's not quite finished the job. A bit like Chance in that it often would come down to a 5-pointer. She's had a lot of matches where she's played really well, but just come out with an L rather than a W. It may be a little bit of more of my heart over my head, but I just have a feeling it might be her year this year where she starts winning more often. She lives, breathes Schmoedown.
Yeah, that's true.
She has her own podcast about Schmoedown. I think she's in the best place for her now with the stars. I really rate Roxy as a manager, and I think her and Janine is a really good fit. I like Jada a lot, and I think he's a good trivia player. I don't think he's as consistent as Janine. I think sometimes he has really good games, and sometimes he struggles a little. I think in his team's match with Brendon Hannah last year, I don't think he did amazing. It's hard to say, as it's this brand new season. I just think Janine, with her experience, has a little bit of an edge, and that's why I went with Janine.
I just want to point something out. Jader didn't have a manager, to be honest, with Brendon, Hannah.
Well, we had Ken.
Well, it was an inter manager, and we all heard that actually draws are not in a good place. It was discussed in the group. So this, I think, Kate and Dan will, as
he's
will,
in a better place. He is in.
Yeah, as the I think that Stars and Dan are in pretty similar boats. Let's say as affections. I don't think that Dan will give up on Jader and not help them. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm with Thomas. I really like Janine, and I think I just want to see her get a few wins. I do think she's a really good asset to the league, and I just hope she can get some more wins.
Yeah, I like her and Rachel Silvestrini. Those are the two players I really want them to win because it's I see in them how much they like the Schmoedown and how are both of both players are very invested in the
Yeah, I
Schmoedown.
think both of those players also are assets to your faction, even
Yeah,
if they're not
yeah,
playing.
yeah.
I heard
Oh, yeah.
Kate on backstage talking about the amount of work Silvestrini is doing for the
With
faction.
everyone, right?
And
Probably, yes.
I feel as though Janine is probably a very similar person. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see both of them get some wins this year. I think Silvestrini came against Liz Shanna Miller, who, as Ben knows, is an exceptional player. So I don't think we should be looking too hard on Rachel for last year, and also Janine. She didn't even get to be in the singles tournament, which I found a real shame. I would like to have seen her in that. She did do the Inner Geekdom, and she had a good showing. So we'll see how she goes on this year. But moving on, our final predictions are for the big throwdown, the second one this season. We'll start with the undercard, I think, and then we'll finish with the main event. So the
I
undercard
wish
for
we
this
could
one.
start with the upper card because I don't know who to pick in the undercard really.
So you
I've been
want us
going back
to
and
start
forth
with?
back.
Start with the main event then.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's try that.
Okay, so the main event is the Star Wars title. Alex Damon, Andrew Dimolanta. So obviously Alex Damon is with the Stars, and Andrew Dimolanta is the Quirky Max. I think you guys know who I'm picking because I kind of said it very loudly in our Facebook group on this one. But
and you said it in one of our previous episodes too.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm quite big on this player. Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
See it?
Damon. And what was
And
Teresa?
Dimolanta for Teresa.
We can't. She's
odd
not
one out.
here
We
to.
can't even
I think this is the
say
first
why.
time she's been the lone wolf.
Yep. I'm so sad she cannot defend this.
We'll have to have her put a comment in the video tomorrow and just tell us why.
Yeah, we'll ask her to do that. Yeah, I know she's a fan of Dimolanta, but obviously she can. Maybe next week she can explain why she picked the loser. I'm joking. No, I will say I think out of this one, I do think can go either way. I just can't not root for my boy Alex. He's held the title for so long. I think every single match I'm gonna go Alex until he loses the belt. Like I'm just if he keeps defending, I'm gonna keep thinking he's gonna win. So that's just where I am with it. What about you two?
Well, in this match, it would be. Let's be honest. He defended that belt so many times. How can you not go Alex Damon? Is beyond me. The only player, maybe I would put over him is if Harper does some crazy run, if he beats everyone, because I know I think that Alex said that both of them are like something like rivals in their heads. So I think that it would be for both of them it would be a very very nice and very good fight. But how can you not pit a big Alex Damon, the man with the most title defenses right now, and the only ones who defended more is the Patriots. So it was. I would like actually Dimolanta to win it. I think that it would be a breath of fresh air in the Star Wars division, but I have to go with Alex Damon. He defended that belt so many times. For me, not to go with him would be. I feel it would be disrespectful. Actually, I don't think that Dimolanta is a bad player, but if you don't believe in someone who defended that 5 times, against great competitors like Dimalanta, like Kelly, and like many players. Yeah, I the only thing I'm just going to go into my dreams a little bit. The only thing it would be more dreamy for me is for Alex to defend that title, and then Sam Whitwer comes and say, "Okay, I want my shot." That would be the dream match for me. That's the only person in the Schmoedown who beat Alex Damon. So I really hope that happens by then, but probably not. But okay, yeah, Alex Damon, until someone comes with some crazy run, Alex Damon.
Yes, Dimalanta does have a great chance.
Yeah,
I will say, I just said something, and I'm going to contradict myself. I said I will go Damon until he loses the belt. I will say if Laura Kelly has a title shot, I may be going Laura. I just think Laura looks unstoppable right now over Alex. But Ben, why Alex?
Because he's unstoppable. I think there's only 3 people that I think could beat him: Zach Paquette, Thomas Harper, and Laura Kelly. Sorry, Dimalanta, I'm a huge fan of yours, but right now, Alex is just unbeatable. Let's be honest. Yeah, you have to play perfect and still probably go into overtime in order to beat Alex at anything, at any Star Wars / what was it Lord of the Rings that he nearly won? Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
yeah, he was very good in Lord of the Rings. I was very impressed.
Okay, here's a quick question before we move on to our final one. Do you think it will go into overtime?
Yes.
I don't.
No, it won't.
I don't think it will, but we'll see. Okay.
Do you know how I call Star Wars League now? It's a 5-pointer league. I call it a 5-pointer league because most of the time it comes either your 5-pointer or not your 5-pointer. But yes, that's what makes it interesting.
I will be very, very shocked if we see a TKO in Star Wars this season.
Yeah.
I just can't see it happening. But yeah. I may be wrong.
Unless Adam Wood plays. Sorry, Ben.
Okay, I hope you're ready, Ben, because we have one more prediction left.
I've made my decision.
We will probably talk about this match the most.
Yeah.
This one for me is the hardest of the week.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm struggling. Okay, someone
in South Africa we say sickling. We sickle with this. Sickling.
Okay, I've made my decision. I know. What an undercard that is. You think that's a single title match?
Any other time, I think that would have been the main event.
Okay.
Oh, three,
I'm
2, 1.
Dibs.
I'm Lone Wolf again.
I've gone Paul.
Teresa went with you. It's
Dibs.
me and Liam again.
So me and Teresa against you two again. Teresa, I will represent both of us. I know that Bibbs is one of Teresa's favorite player. I think that he's right after I think the kid. I think that Bibbs is her third favorite player. Please, Teresa, if I'm wrong, write it in the comments. But I think that it's his third favorite player, and I have a rule. It's my rule, and that's the rule. I never bet against Bibiani in singles. I didn't do it even once. I watched the Schmoedown for a lot of years, when he was in his three-way against Dan Merle, I would still pick Bibiani to win because I think that Bibiani is the most knowledgeable player in all of the Schmoedown. I only think that he has to work on himself and his and getting in his own head. I really like Koi and Bibbs, but I think that the unstoppable combination would be Roxy and Bibbs. I think that combination would be gold. Many players said that Bibiani knows the most. I see that Ben is not happy with my with what I said, but yeah, I think that Roxy is the queen for the players who get in their own heads. That's just my opinion. And the Bibiani, in my opinion, is a player who, like many competitors, who knows the most. We heard from Jeff Snyder, we heard from many competitors that Bibbs is the player. Most of the players are scared the most because his knowledge is so big. It's scary, and I don't think that there is many categories you can put in that wheel that can trip Bibbs up. I don't think even the inner geekdom questions can trip Bibbs up hard, because when I saw the level of inner geekdom in singles, I don't think that that's the kind of questions who can trip Bibbs really hard. That's why I went Bibiani, but I acknowledge that it can happen that Oyama can beat him. I don't think that it's easy match to predict. It's just my own rule. I never go against Bibbs. I never will go against Bibbs.
It's a good
Probably.
role, really. I understand.
Because if I'm gonna bet on someone, I'm gonna bet on the person I think has the most knowledge, and I think that Bibiani is the most knowledgeable player in the Schmoedown. That's it.
Ben, do you want to hit this one first? Because I'll finish it up.
In terms of Bibiani versus Oyama, I think yes, Bibbs knows probably more than Oyama, but let's be honest here, Oyama is way more strategic than Bibiani. And Oyama has been studying this game for a long time. IG categories also suit him. And yeah, this one was tough for me. And quite honestly, whoever wins, I'll be happy because I love Bibbs, I love Koi. But yeah, I think Oyama's got this. What about you, John?
Yeah, this is a 50-50. I think it could go either way. I went with Paul for a couple of reasons. Firstly, as we spoke about earlier, I think the 5 pointers now are fairer, and I think that suits Paul a lot. I think he's lost matches on 5 pointers which have been extremely difficult in the past. I think with the level of 5 pointers now, I can see him hitting a lot more than maybe he would have in previous seasons. And I do think this match will come down to the final question. I'll be surprised if it doesn't.
I think that
to go on.
Just to make on what you said, I think that if any match is going to be a sudden death this week, I think this can be a sudden death match. And when I thought about it, will I actually pick Oyama because inner geekdom categories is the biggest thing? I just thought to myself, I actually have a feeling this will be our first sudden death, and I don't think anyone beats Bibiani in sudden death because it's free for all style, and we all know who is the king of free for all. So,
I would say I think in this match, I don't, with the level of the inner geekdom questions in singles, I don't think it's going to be enough to like give a huge advantage either way. I think if Bibbs gets in the IG, I think he will still do really well in it. I don't think there's enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they're difficult enough that it's going to give Bibbs a real challenge.
True.
What I would say is the other reason I've gone with Paul is kind of to do with strategy, and I just think Bibbs has a tendency to get in his own head. I don't think Paul does that as often, if ever. I think he is able to remain quite calm if he's a couple behind or something like that. So yeah, I like Bibbs, and either way, I'm happy who wins. I do think sudden death is a real possibility in this match. It's gonna be close. I'll be shocked if it doesn't come down to the final question, but I just have a feeling Paul is gonna nick it. And I have in my head. I think Quirky Merc's gonna have a really slow start, but I think they will come back in tournament season. So I have a feeling Brendon and Bibbs might lose their first matches, and then that will give them the fire to go on a run. So yeah, just by a little hair, I've gone Paul, but it's a hard one to pick.
Also, the one thing that I'm most excited for this Friday, to see what Bibbs' soap we'll bring up.
Yeah, you can buy the soaps, cat soaps from Bibiani.
Okay, guys. So that's the end of our prediction league, and I think that nicely wraps up our episode today. So I want to say a huge thanks for those of you who have been watching along. Thomas, thanks for joining. We love hearing your comments throughout. And Teresa, I wish you a speedy recovery. We'd love to have you back next week, even if it is just so I can gloat a bit more. But we love having you as part of our foursome. And it's not quite been the same without you, but we've tried to steady the ship without you here. We shall see who is on top of the prediction league next week. I'm excited for the matches. As ever, please subscribe to our channel and share Euro Schmoe on the Facebook.
No, I must stop you. You forgot something. We promised our listeners and our watchers that we are gonna say what will your punishment be if I win the prediction league.
We did.
So to explain first to our American fans, in Europe we are big fans of soccer. Football. Yeah, we call it football. Just to be easier for them, football. Yeah. And Liam is a big Liverpool fan, and I am a Manchester United fan. And I promised him that if I win this, I'm going to send him a Manchester United shirt. Yeah, I'm going to send him a Manchester United shirt, and he will have to wear it, and he will have to say on multiple occasions on these shows that Manchester United is better club than Liverpool. Yay, hooray.
Okay, so we have my forfeit sorted. So I think each week we can reveal someone else's.
Yeah,
so
but
I'll have a think about yours, and then we can do one for Ben and Teresa as well.
Yeah.
But that is disgusting. I feel physically sick at the thought of having to say I like Manchester. I can't even say it in paraphrasing. So hopefully,
not that you like it, that it's better than Liverpool.
I'm just not even going to acknowledge that statement at the moment. Word of they're German, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yes, okay. So that we know what mine is. Next week we'll discover what Matt's is, and then we'll do one a week for the next 4 weeks. But on that note, I think we'll leave it there. As I said, please subscribe and leave a comment. That really helps us, and we'd love to hear more people's views. We love hearing from our fans. Thomas has been really interactive with us, and if anyone else wants to join in, we'd get them involved as well. So yeah, that's it from me. You can find me on Instagram at PsycheLiam, PSYCHY Liam, if you want to see what's going on in my life. It's not that interesting, so I wouldn't worry. And I'll pass on to Matt. Anything you want to plug?
Yep, I finally did make my Twitter. It will be up and running probably today because I need to do some stuff with email and Twitter. And will be Schmoe Matt Schmoemat is my username, because I will be
Nice.
probably use it mostly for Schmoedown. And you can find me there. You can also find me in a Facebook group. If any fans aren't joining a Facebook group, I really encourage you to do it. Most of our community is very inclusive and very nice, and you will find the schedules there. You can comment with people. We actually found this little group in the Facebook group. So yeah, join us there. I will probably comment on something and be in the polls. Also, I try to stay out of the polls before the show, so my fellow host doesn't see what I'm picking before the show, and then after the show is over, I just pick what I said I would pick. And if any of you see that I'm picking something else, that means that I changed my mind in the week, but it doesn't change this prediction link, unfortunately. And yeah, that's it. Keep watching Schmoedown. Keep watching us. Thank you for watching us. Please leave a like, leave a comment. We really want to thank, and me personally, Thomas. We really like when people are interactive with us. It gives us fire, and we like to talk about the Schmoedown. But when someone watches us, it's even more. It gives us even more pleasure. So thank you, and see you next week.
And Ben?
I did make a Twitter. It's the_king_Ben. Yes, the King Ben. And yeah, I would say comment below, please. Let us, if you have any critiques, that would be very helpful. Maybe you can help us. And I would say follow us on Twitter at Euro_Schmoe. That's very helpful. And yeah,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Teresa runs our Twitter and she does a really good job. So she's very interactive
Really does.
as well on that. So yeah,
Good night, Thomas.
thank you
Good night,
guys.
Thomas. Thank you so much.
Remember everyone, you're a Schmoe, and we'll see you next week.
You're
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Schmoe.